What is up, everyone? Today we're doing something absolutely insane. We are counting down the top 10 most haunted places in the entire United States. I'm talking about places so scary, so full of ghost stories, that most people wouldn't even step foot inside. But we're not just going to tell you the spooky legends, we're going to dive deep and look at the actual evidence. For every single one of these locations, we're going to look at the myth, the evidence, the real-life reports, the investigations, and even what the skeptics have to say. Is it really a ghost, or is it just old pipes? This is myth versus evidence. We're starting at number 10. Let's get into it. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. It was one of the first prisons in the world to introduce solitary confinement. Imagine being locked in a concrete cell, alone, for 23 hours a day. The prisoners here went literally insane from the isolation. They weren't allowed to talk, sing, or even see another human being. The guards even wore cloth over their shoes to stay silent. The myth here is that the spirits of tortured inmates still roam the cell blocks. The most famous story is about Al Capone, reportedly tormented by the ghost of James Clark. Visitors claim thousands of EVPs, disembodied whispers like "get out" and "I'm sorry," and shadowy figures darting down the corridors. Skeptics point to wind through cracks, groaning pipes and acoustics that carry sounds end to end. So is it tormented souls, or just a falling apart building? You decide. For number 9, we are heading to West Virginia to the Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This place is huge, and its story is incredibly sad. Built for 250 patients, by the 1950s over 2,400 were crammed inside. People were chained, locked in cages, subjected to brutal treatments, ice water baths and lobotomies. The myth, the asylum is crawling with ghosts. Lily the little girl, a Civil War soldier, apparitions of nurses, with EVPs of laughing and crying and visitors being pushed. Evidence, records suggest many bangs are ancient heating and plumbing. Sightings often match archival photos, a classic case of the power of suggestion in dark hallways. People see a photo, then their minds play tricks on them. Myth versus evidence is razor thin here. Next up at number 8, we're in Long Beach to board the Queen Mary. This isn't just a hotel, it's a floating ghost story. Luxury liner turned WY troopship, the Grey Ghost, with at least 49 documented deaths on board. Myths, Half-Hatch Harry crushed by door 13. The Lady in White dancing. Cabin B 340 so haunted it was closed for years. Lights flicker, faucets run, sheets pulled. Evidence, a crewman was crushed, but details and door number don't match the legend. Decades of renovations and patchwork systems explain flickers and leaks. A massive metal hull sits in water, constantly groaning and shifting. Add fog and lore, and you get a perfect storm for ghost stories. Haunted or haunted by history? The Queen Mary makes a strong case for both. At number 7, Waverly Hills Sanatorium, a massive TB hospital where brutal, often ineffective treatments met a staggering death toll. An estimated 63,000 people died here. To spare morale, staff used a hidden route for the dead, the body chute, a 500-foot tunnel, now called a paranormal superhighway. Shadow figures, despairing EVPs, and Timmy, a boy who rolls a ball back and forth. Evidence, it moved bodies on a motorized rail system, not a slide. Gruesome, but practical. Poor light, insects, rats, and drafts can create shadows, noises, even roll a light ball. In a place steeped in death, the mind fills in the blanks. For number 6, we're in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Myrtles Plantation, often called one of America's most haunted homes. The legend of Chloe, an enslaved woman punished for eavesdropping, who baked a poisoned cake, killing the wife and 2 daughters, then was hanged. Her spirit, supposedly, haunts the grounds. A famous 1992 photo seems to show Chloe. Visitors report children's spirits, mirror reflections, and recurring handprints. However, historians find zero archival evidence. No Chloe in records. No poisoned family. In fact, the family had moved away before the supposed deaths. Experts suggest light, shadow, or double exposure. The narrative likely evolved to attract tourists. Powerful folklore, thin evidence. Cracking our top 5. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. In 3 days over 50,000 were killed, wounded, or missing. The town became a hospital and graveyard. Myths, full-bodied soldiers in uniform marching the fields, battle sounds, cannon fire, muskets, distant screams, echoing at night. Devil's Den, instant battery drains, spinning compasses, eerie photos with figures among the rocks. Skeptics cite wind, vast terrain acoustics, even nearby firing ranges for phantom battle sounds, with thousands in shallow graves. Some suggest magnetic fluctuations in psychology, the stone tape theory, for sightings and equipment failures. At number 4, Old Town San Diego's Whaley House, officially recognized as an authentic haunted house, built atop the old public gallows where Yankee Jim Robinson was hanged. The family reported heavy footsteps, later tragedies, including daughter Violet's suicide, fuel the legends. Visitors see Thomas Whaley, smell his cigar, and glimpse Anna in the garden. Violet's room radiates deep sadness. Evidence is largely storytelling and suggestion. The history is real, but creaks and drafts become ghosts when you're told they are. We're in the top 3, the Lemp Mansion in St. Louis, a dynasty that crumbled into suicide and madness. 4 family members died by suicide, 3 inside the mansion, including William Lemp Sr. in his bedroom and Charles, who also shot his dog. Myth, tormented Lemp spirits replay their deaths. Guests hear attic runs, feel watched, doors lock, glasses fly. With a loud bang in William's room, EVPs, cold spots and malfunctions get cited, but skeptics point to primed minds and a creaky, heavily renovated structure. Our runner-up, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, the inspiration for The Shining. King stayed as the only guest and had a nightmare in room 217. Myths, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley seen around, Flora's piano, room 217's housekeeper spirit tiding, kids on the 4th floor. Evidence Lens, the hotel fully embraces and markets its hauntings, with tours and celebrity anecdotes. Jim Carrey famously fled 217. Skeptics say it's masterful narrative engineering. Strange occurrences get immediately framed as paranormal, reinforcing belief. Truly haunted, or the most successful haunted-themed hotel in the world. And here it is, the number 1 most haunted, most bizarre place. The Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, 160 rooms, built non-stop for 38 years, 24/7. Myth, Sarah Winchester believed ghosts of rifle victims haunted her, and a psychic told her to build constantly to appease and confuse them. Stairs to nowhere, doors to drops, secret passages, windows into rooms, and the obsession with 13 bathrooms, panels, steps. Evidence shows no hard proof of seances or ghost claims by Sarah. The ghost story appears to have been created posthumously to explain the house and draw tourists. A more grounded view, a grieving, eccentric, wealthy woman obsessed with architecture, experimenting without formal training, and employing locals for decades. Not a prison for ghosts, but perhaps the world's most elaborate, misunderstood passion project, and the perfect myth versus evidence finale. And that is it. The top 10 most haunted places in the United States. We looked at the myths, the evidence, the historical records, the skeptical explanations, and the psychology at play. What do you guys think? Are these places crawling with spirits, or just old buildings with powerful stories? The Winchester Mystery House is the perfect example, an exciting legend, but scant proof. Always question and look for proof. Thank you for watching. Smash like, subscribe for more, and tell me which location was scariest. If I missed any, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep questioning everything. See ya.